Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Mackay T Podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Mackay and T Davis.
This is the Mackay T Show. This is the Mackay T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian Mackay and T Davis. Yeah, you can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. T, if I may, I just want to tell you, these first couple topics we'll just kind of hit and get through real quick, so I know we can get to the part that I want to leave as much time as possible, because I know that you've been ready, and the people have been ready.
The people been waiting.
And I'm finally ready. And Chadwick Boseman, by the way, we'll get to that, but he tried to throw shade at people like myself this weekend on Saturday Night Live, but we'll get to that when we get to
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, first thing I wanted to talk about was UFC 223. Not necessarily the event itself. I didn't watch it, so don't have much to say about it other than the pre-stuff. Conor McGregor, he kind of got himself caught up in a little mess. Apparently, the backstory on it, the guy he was going after, I cannot say the man's name, I've been trying, it's crazy, we just call him Khabib, because that's the first name is all I can get out. So, Khabib and one of Conor McGregor's friends had got into it about a week or so ago. So, that's where the backstory on this is. So, Conor McGregor shows up at the end of the press event, he's being Conor. He's yelling, screaming, and cussing, throwing things at the bus as the bus with the UFC fighters are trying to leave the scene. Anyway, he eventually gets arrested with a bunch of just really obviously, I know one of the charges was a felony, but they obviously didn't mean very much because he was certainly out and sitting in the crowd at UFC 223 and, all the local, all the ESPNs and people like that covered that really well. I think they covered that more than the fight. But I think, there's this conspiracy out there that all this was a publicity stunt perpetrated by Dana White and Conor and people like that to, get some eyeballs on UFC 223 because it was in the same weekend as WrestleMania, which WrestleMania has, is heavily involving two other former UFC people in Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. Dana White's come out and been very, trying to shut that down, basically saying this is the last stunt on earth we'd ever pull. It's embarrassment for our sport and obviously for the UFC. Furthest thing from a stunt. This is really, really bad. He also was in attendance at WrestleMania, sitting front row with a Ronda Rousey shirt on. So, hey, if it was, I'll say this. I saw his interview with ESPN. If it was a stunt, he's the greatest actor alive because he looked like he was upset. Who knows? Yeah, but Conor McGregor, he's a character, that's for sure.
I think he was on drugs. The way he picked up that dollar and tossed it at that bus, that was not an easy feat. Now, I don't go around picking up dollars often, but just the weight distribution of it being heavy by the bottom, and he tossed it a pretty good ways up to hit that front window and shatter it. I think it was, they wouldn't do, if they were just beating on the bus and doing some stuff, I'd be like one thing, but when you start injuring people or potentially hurting people, I don't think, because you got 3 or 4 people that can't fight in your match, then that's bad for business. Like, you got to get ticket money back or something. People start suing because, I had a match. I could have won. I get $4,000 for winning. I get $4,000 for showing up. Some of them low-end fights.
All right.
I get the bigger ones, $20, $250, depending on who you are. That's a lot of money to put at risk. I don't know what's wrong with him. We'll see if Dana White suspend him or what he gonna do with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ever since he became what he was, I mean, I think it was UFC 194 when he knocked out Jose Aldo in like 13 seconds, and he became this household name. And ever since then, he's kind of almost become bigger than UFC, and he's used that to his advantage and a bunch of his tactics, the way he's done things. So I don't know. Like you said, we'll see if he gets suspended and any kind of punishment comes down on the UFC end. Moving on to other news, Ole Miss women's basketball finally had themselves a coach.
Well, that's good.
Yolette McPhee McEwen is named the 9th head coach in Ole Miss women's basketball history. She is from Jacksonville University, where she spent the last 5 years rebuilding that program. Really started from absolutely nothing down there in Jacksonville. And the last 3 years, she's had 21, 22, and 23 wins. And I think it was 2016 she made the NCAA tournament. And the 2 years, kind of bookending that year, she was put out in the conference final, tournament final against Florida Gulf Coast. So they kind of have gone back and forth the last 3 or 4 years on who was the top dog in that conference. So, and it's a one bid league, so you don't win your conference tournament, you hit the NIT. So she's been to the NIT 2 of those 3 years. Yeah, but just honestly, I don't know this woman personally, but what I do know about her is, she's one of the top, probably 2 or 3 recruiters in the game. She's done really well in that area, and now that she's become a Miss head coach, I've kind of started following her on a bunch of different social media platforms, and I see why she is so relatable to today's player. And I've not ever not like growing up, I've always been one that hated the fact that when people say, well, they're finished, they're done, they need to retire, they can't relate to today's kid, this, that, and other. And growing up, I've always thought that was just ridiculous. But in today's time and the way kids are today, that actually has a lot of merit. And Coach Yo is very good social media wise, and just she's constantly just up and just posting and tweeting and Instagram video, and she does it all. And I can see why kids really, really relate to her. And this is what hit me more than anything else from what I saw the last couple of days about Coach Yo. People from all over the country have been congratulating her.
Coach Yo, now y'all friends? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. That's what she wants everyone to call her. So that's what I'm call. She says she won't be called Coach Yo. She gonna be called Coach Yo.
Her mama called her.
Go ahead. No, but she's been giving congratulatory tweets and things from people all over the country, all over the basketball universe. But the biggest one to me, I saw Asia Wilson, who was a 2-time National Player of the Year, 2-time SEC Player of the Year from South Carolina, tweeted to her congratulations. And if you know on a personal level the National Player of the Year, clearly, I mean, obviously Jacksonville was probably a place Asia Wilson probably wasn't ever considering going. But just the fact that you're in her radar, it makes me feel good about the fact that you can recruit that type of kid. Once you get to a level like a Power 5 school, which she is at now at SEC. And
I want you to have 7-6, Brian. Here's the problem. I wish her the best, hotty-toddy. However, she couldn't come to the state of Mississippi at the worst time. With Mississippi State over there killing them, going to Final Fours. Number one rule Carol Ross talk about. You got to get the best kids in your state. Well, that's going to be hard. Number 2, now you got to sell people to come to Mississippi from out of state and leave the Georgias, Kentuckys, Tennessees. That's going to be hard. So she going to have to be like the dude at Villanova. She going to have to find those diamonds in the rough and do the work so she can make them shine and develop them. Because it's gonna be hard now that state is winning and has so much success to get the top kids in the state, let alone the surrounding areas.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be a challenge, but I think it's one that she didn't come into lightly. She clearly, in everything that she's said in press conferences leading up to this, she's up for it. She knows she knows what's in front of her, and she's been there before. And when she was there before, she wasn't even 30 years old when she took over at Jacksonville, where she'd come into a situation that was, down in the gutter and brought it back up.
Well, she ain't been in the SEC, and the other teams are getting better in the SEC. And good luck again. I ain't saying she can't do it. I'm just saying, good luck.
Hey, I'm not gonna doubt her. I'm gonna give her.
I don't know her to not doubt it. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking from facts and understanding. Like I said, like if she not able to find like what was the kid that Jaden found out there the athlete we used to call the athlete.
Oh, Tia Fowler.
Like if she can't find them kind of players that nobody else really on their radar, and because I don't think Tia was on a lot of people's radar, and she was super athletic. Or she can't. Now you can't find a lot of Armenian prices because there's not a lot out there. Mm-hmm. But that's the kind of player she gotta find. Somebody that people not necessarily looking at. And maybe she got the gift of gab and can talk people to want to come to Mississippi. Cause shoot, I just came now to get my master's, and people's like, "You going to Mississippi?"
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
I was like, yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm going. So I can imagine these young heads wanting to say they going to a big school. And now that, like I said, now that state has been in the Final Four, and now more people have seen Mississippi State's name, and they'll be like, "Oh, you going to state?" So get it together, lady. Let's do it. I want Ole Miss to do well.
Me too. It's my school. You got 2 degrees from there yourself. So
I'm not saying that I don't want her to do well. I'm just saying this is not Jacksonville. This is an SEC powerhouse. And I guess another good thing is there's probably not a big high expectation for her to like come in and win SEC championships, because if she can just get some 20-win seasons and go to some NCAA tournaments, that'll be helpful. And beat state. We always tell people you gotta beat your in-state rivals some kind of way. She gotta get one of them 2 games against state. I don't care how you do it. That'll keep your job for a little while.
Yeah, if you just win, just either split or find a way to win both of the games against state, that's a successful year in many, many, many Ole Miss people's eyes.
Yeah. So if you can get that done, that'll be very helpful for you.
Yeah. Well, I wish her luck, and
all right, Coach Yo. That's what I heard. Okay.
Coach Yo pulling for her hard. But moving on to a little bit of entertainment. Tisha Campbell was a guest star on this week's Empire.
Oh Lord.
She I'm not gonna get too deep into it because people may have not seen it. So,
I haven't yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, she played one of a 3-girl group called the 3 Black Divas.
I can't. I need a better name for the group.
Otherwise known as TBD.
I need a better name for this.
They were relaxed on the name of that group. Well, anyway, it was a group from Empire Past. Basically, they found out that they were not involved in this 20 for 20 album that they're putting together for the 20 years of Empire. And clearly, Cookie is the one that's kind of behind this album, and she's the one putting it all together. And she was in jail for majority of Empire's 20 years. Wow. So she obviously didn't know these people, probably didn't know this group that well. When they broke off from Empire, they had some issues with Lucius. That really wasn't explained that well in this past week's episode. I don't know if they're planning on being on more episodes in the future. But yeah, basically, they're going to try and make a comeback, and they were going to do a diss album against Empire. They got themselves aligned with a little promoter, and that promoter was bought out by Lucius and Cookie. And so they now own the Three Black Divas again, and basically told them that, they're going to shut down all that diss track they were planning and their whole little tour they were going on. They're going to be a part of Empire again, and they're going to do their things the Empire way. And I don't know. I'm hoping maybe there's more to this in the coming weeks, because if they just leave it the way it is, I don't feel like it was a good closure for this whole little storyline. I don't know. But we'll see. But yeah, it was nice to see Tisha Campbell. Anybody that has followed her career, I think she's pretty much shown her vocal skills in just about every show and movie she's ever been in. So she can sing. It was a nice thing to see her.
I did catch up on season 4. I think whatever last season was.
What do you think so far?
I thought it was better.
Yes.
It was better than the other ones when I jumped off the boat and I had to swim the shore.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe keep it up. You sounded like though they're going backwards. But go ahead.
Well, I can't go off just one episode. It was just I
thought it's 2 episodes since then.
I'm talking about just this. No. The first episode coming in was really good. Coming into this part of the season, this episode was just kind of like I just don't like when things seem unfinished, and the storyline just wasn't finished to me. Like they shut down the fact that they were gonna go on that diss track, but what was their real big issue they had with Lucius? Maybe I need to rewatch and see if I missed something, because I don't feel like that was explained well to me. But so moving on to our main topic of the day. Let's get into a little Wakanda. Go ahead. I know you've been wanting to talk about it.
I want to hear what you got to say since you freshly saw it. It's been like 10 months ago since I saw it.
Let me just.
It's been a year since I saw it. About 2 years ago it came out.
Okay. First of all, you and Chadwick Boseman can kick rocks. he hosted Saturday Night Live this weekend, and he made
saw him. Black Jeopardy was hilarious.
Yes, it was. So he had a part in his opening monologue where he was starting to kind of give spoilers on the movie. He said, "Sorry for the spoilers, but the movie's been out 2 months by now, so if you haven't seen it, then..." He kind of looked at the screen like,
Yeah, Brian.
Okay. But listen, in my mind, I said, well, I saw it Thursday. Chill. I'm good. I saw it before you came on here. No, but here's my thoughts on it. I thought that it was really well done. I thought just the whole, the way it kind of meshed, way things are going in life, as we know it now, was something different and something really, really fun to see. I really liked the whole time I kept waiting on the sister to kind of be an antagonist, kind of flip on it, because the way they kind of brought her in, it's almost like she was kind of jealous that, but then you realize that's just him, that's just their relationship. They just kind of joke back and forth, kind of like that. I do like the fact that she seems like she has her role, as far as being the technological one, coming up with everything. She's the one in the lab, cooking and creating. I need me a pair of those sneakers. I need her to come up with a better name for those sneakers, but she's called them sneakers. Because they don't make any sound. Because they don't make any noise. Let's see, what was another part. I'm glad that he was able to be helped by can't remember the tribe's name, but they were basically the Omega Sci-Fi of
Oh no.
Yeah. That's what I kept calling them the whole movie. But yeah, I'm glad they were able to help him in the end. Michael B. Jordan, that boy can act. I like him in everything he's in. They made Sterling K. Brown look very, very young. That was a heck of a makeup job. No, I'm just
at the beginning when they in Compton.
Yes. So I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just visually the whole just looking just extra in the future, the futuristic things that all I know is I need some vibranium. If vibranium can do all that, we all need a little bit of vibranium.
So while you shared all the fine and nice points, I'll say that I think that my expectation was way too high. Because it was just like, oh my God, this is the best thing since Pockets. And then I was sitting there and I was like, the whole movie, I was like, something's gonna happen to make me. I was like, well, this is good, but like, I feel like, okay. I just felt like I was waiting for something because how all of the hype, and it was good. And I hate to say this, but I just felt like I was left wanting.
And I think the reason that I was not feeling that way is because you had already previously kind of told me that. So I went into it with not as high as expectations. Correct.
I'm saying I was just like, oh yeah, I'm waiting, and I was like, okay. And then when I get to I was like, well, that was a good movie. And then I was like, that was a good movie. And I just didn't feel like, oh, I want to see this again. None of that. I was disappointed in the city. Because when I know they were trying to stick to how areas look in Africa and some of the, how close things are, and when they had the markets, they're very close and it's tight. However, if you are saying that you kind of worlds apart from the others, and you got vibranium, you got this high-end train station, I just feel like when they walking through the little merchant thing like that, it should look different. I felt like it should look less. They look like they still was living in poverty.
Right. I feel like if you're gonna be,
like you're supposed to be top of the line. You got your sister driving an imaginary car, but you in the real car somewhere else. Like there's no. I felt like my expectation for the look for this city was something different. I was sad that Killmonger died. If you haven't seen it, oh well. Because I liked his character. I thought like it was a reason that he was that far over the edge, but he had a good like his philosophy of wanting, everybody to have success and not one people, like just the Wakandans doing well and the rest of blacks and Africans across the world are struggling.
If I could jump in there, because what you just said, if I could jump in, I just want to ask you this question. Did you get the feeling that they almost made the protagonist, T'Challa and the Wakandan people, they almost made them seem like the bad guys in some kind of respect, as far as like they weren't willing to help the outside world. I mean, that was Killmonger's whole deal.
That was Killmonger's position. And sometimes you get that sense that like, oh, if we would all work together, things would be better for everybody, but we all got infighting, for lack of a better word. And so yeah, I was like, dude, like you got all this vibranium, y'all doing well, but like he said, y'all ain't helping nobody. Y'all staying secluded in this little island. Y'all go chase people down when you get good and ready. And then you go back home into your little niche and let the rest of the world suffer. And then I was mad. I was like, I didn't write the movie. I liked how they brought it all full circle when we go to Compton, and then we come back and find out that that's what happened to that King T'Challa, whatever his name, killed his brother. But like, why would you leave him there? And why would you leave his son there? There's no way you didn't know he had a son. Like, take the body, take the son, raise him. Now, that could still be a problem if you raise him without telling him that you killed him now. But now you left him now to be another black man with no daddy. And I don't know who the mama was, but somebody raised him apparently. And then I was like, well, do all superheroes have father or parent issues? We know Stark didn't like his dad.
Yeah, it's almost like the people who created this have their own issues.
All of them know. Think Stark. No, he didn't like his dad. We saw in Civil War that he was in love. Like when he found out that that man killed the mama, he was seen to be caring more about that than the daddy being dead.
Right.
And then the other Starks, he had issues that he didn't think his dad loved him, whatever. Okay. Do we even know anything about Captain America's parents? He's talking about he raised himself since he was 18.
Right. I don't know.
So, didn't get along with his dad in the first one because he thought his dad was a fool and duck, duck, quack, quack. Do we? I mean, all of them got some kind of father.
Yeah. I mean, even in Black Panther, it comes, like, as far as Chadwick Boseman and his father. I can't say that name.
Yeah, T'Challa got to deal with.
Even he got angry.
With
his father's spirit.
Right, leaving the way he handled things and killing his brother and all this. Now all this happened because you weren't on the up and up. You killed your brother, who at the time again was doing what Killmonger wanted to do. He was trying to help other blacks and not just have his own success.
Right.
So that I liked the sister. I like Killmonger. T'Challa made me mad when he took the white guy and brought him back to Wakanda. Because in my mind, when they was like, "Oh, I can't leave him," I was like, "Yes, you can."
Oh, the FBI agent, yes.
I was like, because this is how the white man and people don't get your socks all knotted up in a wad. But this is how it happened. You bring them over there trying to be helpful. The next thing you know, they come and take everything. And I was like, do not take this man to Wakanda. Because if he figure out what this is, it's going to be problematic. But T'Challa took him. And I was like, okay, it all worked out. But, yeah, I ain't like that at all.
Yeah, I saw that a lot of other reviews gave that a problematic situation with that, with bringing him back and bringing him back to life, with all their bells and whistles that they have in Wakanda, and then him actually being a part of it. In the fight scene, he was actually a major part. He actually got to be in the
fight in the ship.
Yeah.
But still, he could have went left. He could have went so left. Knowing our history, I know this is fiction, but knowing our history and how, and not just Americans, Europeans have done it too. Gone to Africa and take what they want and leave and do whatever they want to do. So, I was like, yeah, you need to leave him now. I like the women. I like the women having power. I like the women being his guards. I liked his the sidekick. What was her name? Not sidekick. She was a love interest.
Yes, I can't think of her name right this second. But yeah,
I liked her and like that she was strong.
Yeah, she was able to do her own thing. And speaking of his army, his little guards, oh my gosh, when they went when they went in there to try and what's the guy with the one arm? What was his name?
Oh shoot, he's a super criminal.
Yeah, when they went in to bring kind of bring him in, yeah. And she had that wig on.
Look at a mess. Look at a mess. They could have got a better wig though, but that's another story for another time. I know she still might not have liked it, but I was like, they could have got a better wig.
That was hilarious. Yeah, I enjoyed all of that. I really wanted him in this T'Challa at one point during the fight scene, especially Now I could have told you, old boy from Get Out was gonna flip. I could have told you that from the first scene I saw him. I said,
no!
I knew he was gonna be foul at some point. But I wanted him during that fight scene. I wanted T'Challa just one time to just scream, "Get out!" That would have done it for me.
No,
if he'd have done that. But no, on a serious note, I do from the first scene. I said, yeah, he gonna wind up being foul. He not here for the people.
I like the outfits. The clothes were nice. That dude that had the ring in his lip, like that's really his look. Because I feel like I've seen him in another movie with that. He don't really say much, but he's on the tribe.
Right.
Him. I was like, yeah, they went and found some good people to be in the background scenes. The tribe that you like is the Jabari tribe.
Jabari, yes.
That you call Alphas or whatever.
Yeah, the cute dogs.
I like them, and I like that they tried to, that they came to the rescue, and it's like, okay, we're going to do the right thing. And even though y'all just kind of made us kind of outcast, and they kind of made themselves outcast on some level.
I was mad initially when they when they were asked to come and be a part of it. Initially, they said no. But then I kept going back and forth. I was sitting in my seat and saying, man, how you going to say no? I said, they going to wind up being in it. But at the same time, I was like, well, I mean, they did their part. They saved him. I mean, they kept the boy alive. You know, they didn't have to do that. They could have just left him on that mountainside dead. So,
right.
Yeah.
They put him in the ice and all to make sure he didn't die. I think one part that stuck with me was that I like the fact that even though Killmonger had became king, that girl was like, it don't matter his position or whatever. I'm loyal to the throne.
Right. Yeah, that was good to see.
And I thought about with 45 and how people say that they respect, they respect the presidency is just a person.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a majority at this point. You know, they just really just are there for the seat and not the person.
And so, yeah, I was like, it's so many topics that you can talk about in this movie. And from my understanding, from the few little things that I've seen on the next Avenger one, where a lot of it is going to take place in Wakanda. Because I was like, why all the Wakandans in the background? Because if you look in the background of the little picture or whatever, if you look in the back, you see Panther, and you see Iron Man and Captain America them in the front, but in the back you can see the girls, you can see all like Jabari and all them running out of the back. So I was like, why is that? But apparently a lot of this takes place over there. And
well, you saw did you see the cutscene at the end?
Well, how did he get over there? Now I had to go back and watch the end of Captain America Civil War that night after I watched the movie. Because I was like, what happened?
For those that don't remember, he was basically taken in by T'Challa because
T'Challa took him,
right?
Yeah,
because he killed his father.
He wasn't really the one that killed his daddy,
right?
But that other kid did.
Right, so he took him in to basically help him. Because obviously now that we know what they got in Wakanda, we see that they're able to heal people and.
Well, they apparently can't give you no prosthetic because he still ain't had no arm.
I noticed that. I wonder.
And I was like, well, he in Wakanda now. How he ain't got no arm yet?
And I'm thinking they gonna what was the boy's name? I'm thinking they gonna wind up giving him his arm now that he's dead and gone.
Who Killmonger?
No, the
Oh, the man that had the
right,
the mechanical arm thingy that Killmonger was acting like he was working with and then killed him.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm thinking some kind of way he's gonna get that type of technology. They gonna come out.
I need him to get something because when they showed him at the end, he walk around with no arm. I was like, now wait a minute.
What was that they called it? They keep calling him Something wolf. Some kind of wolf.
Yeah. What did they call him?
I can't remember.
Was it White Wolf?
Might be White Wolf. Yeah. Might be.
And I was like, I need him to have an arm by now. He looked like he'd been there for a while. Y'all could have sized him up.
I had forgotten that's what the African people called him in the Civil War. They called him White Wolf.
So I was just like, okay. So we'll see how this all breaks down, and I think that I'm interested to see if there's a second one.
Black
Panther was prominent in Civil War. I didn't realize as much until I watched it again how prominent the Black Panther was in that one. I'm interested to see if, like, where do they go from here. I
think there's a Black Panther 2. I think it's Phase 5, and I'm going off of Marvel Universe movies. I think we're in Phase 3 or 4 right now as far as the movies they're putting out. And I think Black Panther 2 is getting ready for Phase 5. I think I read that correctly. So I know there is one in the works. Like I saw the preview for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That should be fun.
It should. I'm gonna stand by this to the end of time. I don't like him as Ant-Man.
I did.
He was okay, but he just,
but
to me...
But I don't know if that man's supposed to be funny or not, but I did.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I've seen him in all the other movies, and in my mind, I can't wrap my mind around him being a superhero. He's just a goofy guy, in all his other previous movies. But maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
I think I like his humor. I like him better than... What's the guy that played Green Lantern?
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, Ryan struggled as the Green Lantern, but he was excellent at Deadpool.
Correct.
So I think, it just... I like him. But I did not like... I thought he was too goofy when he was in Fantastic... Wasn't Ryan Reynolds in Fantastic Four?
I think...
Ain't he the fireman?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, and he's still trying to be funny, like, cause that's the type of character or whatever. But he didn't find his niche to me until he got to Deadpool, because I thought he was an excellent Deadpool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Ant-Man and the Wasp and Incredibles 2 coming.
Oh my, OMG, I'm excited. I am so excited. I've been waiting a long time for that. And, Wreck-It Ralph 2. I don't know where they're going, but that should be funny. If y'all haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph, please go and check it out.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out this summer. Should all be interesting.
Uncle Drew got a movie coming out.
Speaking of Uncle Drew, shout out to Kyrie Irving. I'm glad his surgery went well, and hoping he has a speedy recovery. And LeBron James is somewhat happy. LeBron James somewhat happy that he's out, because now Cleveland once again has a nice little path to the finals. Because even though Toronto's number 1, I still don't see them beating them.
I'm less worried about Toronto and Philly. Yeah, that's what I need to be worried about.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I have for today. You got anything you wanna?
Do I have anything that I would like to share? No, just getting ready for school to finish up. Getting ready for school to finish out. We got like 3 weeks left.
Okay.
So,
well, as always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Brian McKay, and I am with...
T, it's still great to be me, Davis.
And this has been the Mac and T Show podcast.
Great. And Lord Brian speaking in tongues. I can't.
Thank you for listening.
This is the Mac and T Show. This is the Mac and T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian McKay and T Davis. Yeah. You can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mac and T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mac and T Show.